Myth. Have you ever looked up the baby name for Sambo? Right? Check this out. Sambo, a boy's name of American and Hebrew origin, which it should be the other way around since Hebrew is older than America, right? But still, it's an American Hebrew origin. Think about the only people that we can look to and say, hey, they named their son Sambo and their daughter Sambo more than anybody else. What do they know about the word Sambo? Right? Sambo has never been a common name in the United States, meaning Hebrew. Heard God. Now think about this, right? Remember that. Heard God. Asked of God. Remember these two right here. These are big. Bible, right? A famous Old Testament prophet and judge. Remember that, all right? They're saying this name comes from the Old Testament prophet, judge, right? Famous. Who do we know that heard God? Who do we know that asked of God that's famous as for being a prophet and a judge in the Old Testament? The word Sambo. First time I even heard about this came out of, from the brother that was breaking down what do you say, the Africans that came out of India, So check this out, ready? And that was for the boys. Now check this out. They even have a section here for the ladies. Ready? Sambo, once again, for this is for the female, right? It says, told by God, right? And it comes from the name Samuel. Remember Samuel when he was a young child and his mother took him back to, what was it? Eli. What was the name of that priest? He was the priest that the wicked sons. Is Eli, right? Eli, and he was laying in his bed and he heard, the Creator, call out to him, right? And he thought it was Eli that called out to him, so he went to his room, and Eli said, "I didn't call for you," and he did it again. And he's like, "I didn't call for you," but the next time you hear that name, next time you hear someone call out for you, say, "Here I am," and then he get to speak to the Creator, it gives a whole shout out to this right here, that this name is short and it derives from Samuel. Did you know that? I had no idea. Because every other time, when I read, Sambo, right? When I first heard about it, it took me to it's an African this and African that, and nothing else to it, they're even switching it up today, trying to say, it's just East Indians. That's it, nothing else. So check this out, right? Once again, I even got another one to confirm it. Two witnesses, right? but right here, this also breaks down that this Sambo comes from the Hebrew origins. Right here, Sambo is used chiefly in the English language, and its origin is Hebrew. Right there. So check that out, and once again, it brings up. Oh, sorry, didn't mean for it to do that. Once again, it also brings up Samuel. All right, Sambo. Right, and it shows you right here. This one was good because this one here shows you other ways, other nations, and how you pronounce it when you're there. Check this out. Check this out. Right, right. So this is good. This is good. Um, the online etymology was disappointing for me personally. Here, check this. This right here just basically chops it up to its black slaves, Africans, stuff like that. It doesn't probably a form of an African. No, just chopped it up to that, and there's nothing else to it. Like how, like you gotta wonder how these other people found out that it has a Hebrew origin. Right here, it just says a person of mixed blood, American and Asian. There's your Afro-Asian, right? And this gives you the Spanish right here. But I thought that was interesting because I actually searched for that and it brought up a city, and I believe it was a city in Mexico that I got when I did that. Um, and this because there was another one I wanted to find because there's another one that actually says it's Latin. Let me see if it's oh, check that out. And this was another thing too. There was a chain of restaurants open up called Sambo, and when was it racial insensitivity got to an all-time high, they had to close up shop, and Denny's bought them out. So I'll never look at Denny's the same. But here it is. This is what I was looking for. All right, you ready for this? It says Sambos, a term used to refer to a black person. So you have black, going back to the old definition, the first one we looked at, baby name there. What was it? Black American Hebrews, right? Especially males. This was this term was used for a term used to refer to a Latin America, so a black Latin American and American male, right? All right. If you were that, you were considered to be a Sambo, a black of Native American ancestry, or a person of black and white ancestry. So you now you're trying to lump the mulattoes in with that. That's interesting. That is interesting. But that look, that's what I was talking about. I mean, I never had even came across anything that suggested that it was of any Hebrew origin. But I got to be honest. What sparked my interest is going back to the video, this main video back here, right? There's let me see if I can pull this. Get back over here. I want to get back. This video, I know I've watched it before. I know I watched it when Lex broke it down, and took the important stuff from here to teach us about the fig tree and how every time they try to hide stuff from us. And well, check this out, right? Hold on, let me see if this will ever want to cooperate. I hate ads. I hate commercials. And I mean hate. They're a waste of time. Like, I want to get right down to the meat and potatoes. I don't need all this. Come on. Oh. But this video, if you want to watch it, Lex had already broken down about the important stuff, how the 50 states are brought up before we even knew about the 50 states. Let me see here. I hope this is it. Let me see. I'm sorry about that walkie-talkie.
That this one, the future Buddha, who you see here, would be in a tower. The 50 towers representing the 50.
This is picking up where he talks about, the Buddha being from the last Buddha here, that's born somewhere between the late 90s and 2020, how he's going to be coming from the 50 states, right? There was a prophecy they had over in India, right?
Of the United States before they were ever discovered. The lions on the outside also bear testimony, since there are no lions in Asia. The lions came from Africa. These are African lions. This map shows you all the animals of Asia. The lion is not an indigenous animal. The tiger is. The symbol of China, one of the major symbols. It's the symbol of the Asian society.
The lion was, and I've seen that there are lions that roam loose all through China to this very day. But I don't know why. That's just China. Lions are never been my forte. Tigers, for some reason, I've always thought of a tiger being a more fierce and more powerful. I mean, if you ever look into a tiger, the tiger actually is a larger animal than a lion in all aspects. It's a longer, it weighs more, and it stands taller. And it actually lives in the jungle. So I don't get why a tiger is never looked upon as being the king of the jungle when a lion lives in the plains. You ever notice that he's always out in the open, even at night? They sleep in trees out in the middle of the plains, you know what I'm saying? How many times do you actually catch them in the jungles, you know what I'm saying? They're always out in the open area. That's the plains. That's not the king of the jungle. It's the king of the plains.
For all the people of Asia, the lion, testimony to the influence of the Africans of Asia. This book on sculpture from Thailand and Cambodia shows you some of the bronze and stone sculpture stolen and put in private collections from this city of the future Buddha. These were inside the temples and taken out by the colonial powers and put in private collections for private.
Hey, you see that hairstyle right there? Right? There's another brother that goes in. He sees the Buddha, and I think it was in Japan, and he was talking to a guy, and the guy was all, "Oh, those are snails. Snails crawled up on his head on a hot day and kept his head warm." Cool. I'm sorry, but I know what that really is.
Private exhibits, the Africans of Asia. Let me clarify the way of the gods in all cultures. Number one, they write the future before it happens in stone. Then they let the future happen. Then they send one back from the dead who explains it and reveals that which they wrote. This constitutes.
Now that I know this is it's drawing. I mean, it's really. I mean, it's me reaching, but